You're the one everyone counts on, the one that answers the email at 11 p.m. You're the one that shows up with the casserole, the one who somehow keeps the calendar, the family, the team, and the budget running, even when you're falling apart inside. And the worst part, nobody can tell. Today, we're talking about something I've watched quietly steal the joy from some of the most capable people I've ever known. It's called high functioning anxiety. And if you've ever wondered why the more you accomplish, the more exhausted you become, this video is for you. I'm Dr. Bev Smallwood. I'm a licensed counseling psychologist, and for more than 40 years, I've sat across from people who looked by every external measure like they had it all together, polished, productive, praised, and privately depleted. Welcome back to Relentless Rebound, where we learn how to heal with hope, cope with confidence, live with purpose, and lead with wisdom. And today we're talking about heal with hope. Now, if you're new here, this channel is not just for the struggling, but also for the strong ones, the leaders, the helpers, the believers, the carriers, those that are ready to stop just managing and actually start healing. So let me tell you about a woman I worked with. We'll call her Carol. Carol is 58 years old. She chairs the board of a nonprofit that she helped build, of course, and she's leading a capital campaign that's exceeded its goal. She's hosting a July 4th celebration for 22 people soon. And yes, she's already planned the menu and visualized the elaborate decorations. She's also managing her 84-year-old father's care from 3 states away. She's coordinating with his hospice nurse, negotiating with the neighbor who promised to check in on him, booking another flight that she doesn't have time to take. And she still shows up, front row, big smile, at every grandchild's recital, every ball game, every school play, every band concert. But nobody sees that Carol wakes up at 4:30 in the morning with her jaw clenched so tight that her dentist asked at her last visit if she'd been under any stress. She said no, because Carol doesn't get stressed. Carol gets things done. She has a mental list of everything she's got to take care of: her health, her marriage, her quiet time with the Lord, the friendship she's let slide. Um, Once this season passes, that capital campaign closes in March. Her dad's situation will stabilize. The grandkids' schedules will settle down, except every season for the last 8 years has been this season. There hasn't been an after. There's only been another before. Does any of this sound familiar to you? What Carol is experiencing has a name. It's called high functioning anxiety. And it's one of the most underdiagnosed, underdiscussed mental health patterns that I see in my practice, especially among women in midlife, leaders, caregivers, and people of deep faith. Here's why it hides so well. It doesn't look like anxiety. It looks like competence. It looks like reliability. It looks like the person who has it all together. High functioning anxiety is what happens when your nervous system has learned that productivity equals safety. That if you stop moving, something's going to fall apart. That if you're not carrying it, no one will. So you keep moving, you keep producing, you keep showing up, and it works until it doesn't. It shows up in those clenched jaws and tight shoulders, racing thoughts at 4 a.m., that second glass of wine that became the third, the chronic fatigue your doctor can't quite explain, that little stab of resentment when somebody asks you for one more thing, followed immediately by guilt for feeling resentful. For those of us with faith, it can be especially confusing because we've often been taught, sometimes explicitly or sometimes by example, that faithful people serve. That love means showing up. That self-care is selfishness. And so the very thing that's slowly draining us also looks from the outside like devotion. So I want to say this to you clearly. God did not call you to carry what he never asked you to pick up. If you saw yourself in Carol, a flicker of recognition, I want you to know two things. First, you're not broken. The patterns that got you here were, in many cases, brilliant adaptations to real circumstances. You learn to be the one who held things together because at some point, somebody had to. Second, it doesn't have to stay this way. There's a path back to peace, to actual peace, not performed peace. And I want to walk you through 5 steps to start that journey today. Step 1, name what you're actually carrying. High functioning anxiety hides behind confidence, and confidence hides the load. Most of the people I work with are stunned when they actually write it down. So get a piece of paper. I said paper. List every role you're currently holding, every recurring responsibility, every standing commitment, every relationship you're maintaining, every expectation, spoken and unspoken, that you've quietly agreed to. Don't edit, don't justify, don't decide yet what stays and what goes. Just look at it, because you cannot address a load that you refuse to see. You can't set down what you won't admit you're holding. So the first act of healing is honesty, and honesty starts with naming. One time I was at a mastermind group meeting and I made what's called a mind map of all the things I was actually doing professionally so I could share it with my colleagues and solicit some feedback. Whew. When I actually saw it all in one sheet, well, no wonder I stayed tired. So that's step number 1. Step 2, notice the body before the mind. Carol's jaw was clenched at 4:30 in the morning for months before her mind admitted that she was anxious. That's typical. The body keeps the score long before the mind allows the truth. And one of the great gifts of paying attention to your body is that it won't lie to you the way your mind will. So try this 3 times a day. When you wake up, or at lunch, or before bed, take 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Scan from your jaw to your shoulders, to your chest, to your stomach. Just notice, is anything tight? Anything held? Anything bracing? You're not trying to fix it yet. You're just listening to your body. Because anxiety can't be managed if it's not first noticed. And the people who carry the most are often the very people who've stopped listening to their bodies altogether. Because if they listened, they'd have to slow down. Step 3, reclaim one thing. Look, I'm not going to tell you to take a vacation. It would be nice, but that's not the advice I'm about to give you. And anyway, you're not going to. I'm not going to tell you to take a sabbatical because you probably can't. I'm going to tell you to defend one small margin. 20 minutes in the morning before you touch your phone. One evening a week with nothing on the calendar. A Sunday afternoon with no to-do list. Just pick one. And here's what matters most. When you defend that margin, the world is going to test you. Someone's going to need something. Something will feel urgent. And that to-do list, it'll whisper to you that you are being selfish. Defend it anyway. Because that defended margin is your proof of concept. It's the evidence to your nervous system, to your family, and to your own anxious mind that the world doesn't fall apart when you stop, that you are not, in fact, the load-bearing wall of everything. That rest is allowed. Just one thing, defend it. That's where it starts. Step 4, stop waiting for the season to pass. This is the lie that kept Carol stuck. She told herself, once the capital campaign is over, once Dad is settled, once the holidays are behind us, once the grandkids are grown, hey, there'll always be a once. I want you to hear me on this because I've watched too many remarkable people postpone their own lives for a season that never arrives. This season is your life. The practices you adopt now, the boundaries you set now, the rest you take now, the help you ask for now. These are the practices that'll carry you through the next 8 years, not the mythical calm on the other side, because there is no after. There's only now. And now is enough, but only if you stop deferring it, putting it off. You don't get bonus years for endurance. You get the years that you actually live. Here's step 5. Get the right kind of help. Okay, so here's where high-functioning people sometimes get stuck. We self-prescribe. We read the book. We listen to the podcast. We tell ourselves we just need to push through and manage better and pray harder and sleep more. But what we don't do is let trained others speak into what we've been managing alone. It might be a psychologist. I'm a little biased on that, or a counselor. It might be your physician, because there are real medical conditions that mimic and worsen anxiety, and they deserve a workup. It might be a trusted pastor or a spiritual director. It might be a support group of women or men who are walking the same road. The right kind of help depends on what layer is loudest, but the principle is the same. You're not meant to figure this out by yourself. Listen, that very independence that made us successful is now a part of what can keep us stuck. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's the next courageous step. So here's the truth I want to leave you with. If Carol doesn't change anything, if she keeps on putting it off, keeps holding, keeps performing, then the season she's waiting for will never come. It'll be replaced by a new one, and another one until one day her body or her marriage or her faith forces a stop that she didn't choose. I've sat with the people on the other side of that forced stop. I don't want that for you. But if Carol picks up even one of these 5 steps this week, if she names what she's carrying, or notices her clenched jaw early in the morning, or defends one Sunday afternoon, something begins to change. Her sleep starts to deepen, her shoulders start to soften, her presence starts to return to her husband, to her grandchildren, to herself, and to the God who, by the way, was never asking her to carry all of this alone in the first place. So here's what I want you to do this week. Don't try all 5 steps, just pick one. The one that scared you a little when I named it. That's the one. Write it down, tell one person, and do it before the week is out. Come back and tell me in the comments which step you chose. I do read them, and I want to walk this road with you. So I want to leave you with this. You were not given this one life to spend it bracing for the next thing. Strength is not the absence of rest, and the person God made you to be is not waiting for you on the other side of your to-do list. That real person is waiting for you to stop running long enough to meet them. If this video met you where you are, subscribe so we can keep walking this life together. And if you'd like to have a conversation about it, reach out to me at bev@drbevsmallwood.com. And as you go, remember, keep going, keep growing, and you'll come out stronger on the other side. See you next time.